all.
I know. Hello. Are we on? Yes, we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 5 of the Shadowbringers discussion. This MSQ discussion.
Oh, I haven't been counting. I don't know what number we're on.
Whatever. You started 5.5. So we are going to be discussing all the way through the end of 5.4 today. We were supposed to do this after 5.3. You're still going.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever. We're going to have our post Shadowbringers discussion, but we're only going to discuss 5.5.
Well, since 5 is, it doesn't
5.
matter. Whatever. If we do 5, if we do that and then we do a little bit of Endwalker, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. Let's check in with the comments really quick. Arcana's here. Hello, fellow early birdies. Maple Paint Tube in the house. Hello. Tinker Daisy is here. Hi. Ruben's here. Howdy. Coco Team is peeking in from work. Mordak is here. Good to see you. Hemorrhage Sickled's giving everyone a reminder. We are up through MSQ 5.4. Please avoid spoilers for anything after that, both for Tom and for your fellow viewers. If in doubt, please err on the side of caution.
Yes.
Thanks for the reminder. Bon is here. Hi, everyone. Kane's in the house. Howdy. Cirilla is saying so much has went down since 5.0.
I know we were talking about what it means for something to be patch content, and it's I don't know. Being new to the world, I interpreted patch content as lesser than. You get less experience, less. It feels like it's filler is kind of what I thought, and Lord knows the Realm Reborn patch content set that tone a little bit until the very end. Then it really ramped up suddenly. But everything else, especially this one, is how is this? There's no different. This is very much main MSQ situations.
It's all MSQ
it's really
situations.
Intense,
yeah. So before we do that, we do have something that we have to talk about. Well, I just want to make sure we center. Are we centered? We gotta scoot that way.
Mentally or?
Tom and I just had ice cream, so we might be.
I was having a sugar crash.
Yeah, but now you're gonna.
Doctor said my blood sugar is low, so that means I have to eat ice cream. There's no other way.
Oh goodness. Okay, so check it out. We have our free company house, and that is thanks to the Heather Just Play community. Everything from raising the funds to actually get the house and do the building permits and all of that. And we also had our house designer, Taneo, design the entire space, which has been awesome. We also did recently get a exterior redesign, which has been
really
awesome.
Cool.
Yes, our jumping puzzle,
even though
built-in jumping puzzle was removed, but it looks great though. I feel like it matches the vibe of Kraken's Call. And then, but to put the house together, we had a lot of people contribute mats and crafting and gathering and stuff like that. So we took everybody's list from our spreadsheet. Oh god, it's so annoying to do a Google sheet sometimes. Sorry guys. Okay, here's our Google spreadsheet. So if you contributed anything, right? We shared this in our Discord server. If you contributed even one thing and your name is on here, I put you into the wheel of names, because now we're gonna do a raffle for correct me if I'm wrong, the Figmental weapon coffer.
I want this.
Which I'm sure someone here can explain what it is, but it's basically special, really cool looking weapons. So if you contributed anything, if you're on that spreadsheet at all, this is a way of us thanking you. So that's what we're going to be raffling off today.
How did we end up with an extra weapon coffer?
A Vida.
Oh, wow.
Hammer and Sickle got it, I think, from a maps, from some kind of, I think you guys were doing maps runs, and then one just was there. So shout out to you, Hammered Tickled, for offering that. Thank you. Fatality here. Hello. You get a cool thing. Exactly. Yes. And I wish I could pull them up and explain super rare cool weapon glams. Some are silly and goofy. I only remember Tin's White Mage cake on a fork one, which looks really cool.
You said some people it's the shark fists.
Yeah.
I've seen those. Those look fun.
You've seen them in real life.
I mean,
not real life, but in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they are. So we're going to be doing that first.
Ivan said fan designed weapons from a contest a long time ago. Newly added jobs were just designed from the from the devs. So the design's got a little wacky and sometimes cool. That explains it.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to be raffling off. And then we'll jump into discussion.
Sweet.
So we've got the Wheel of Names here.
Can't wait.
I think there's no duplicates, right? Can you just scan this really quick? And just make sure.
Oh, actually, there is. Ito is in there twice.
Where's the second one?
There's one here.
Oh, wow.
One there.
I think that's Ivan. So sorry, Ivan.
Look, I thought it was a test. I wanted to pass the test. I think that's the only one.
Casuals here. They are silly and goofy, except the dark one, Dark Knight one, which is the coolest Dark Knight weapon in the game. Remember my Santa glam. That snow globe weapon was 1-2. That's right. Randall saying the snow globe weapon. So just really cool looking weapon glams. That's what we're going to be raffling off.
Okay.
And guess who's going to have the honor?
Is it me?
Could it be?
Could it be? Click to spin.
Click to spin.
Can't win if you don't spin.
Wait. Errol says he's in there twice.
Wow, what an honest.
Mordak or Errol?
There's Errol 1.
Look at you being honest.
You passed the test. Wait, where was the other one?
Right here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's hard
Thank you.
Not alphabetized. Oh, you could literally sort them A by Z. But...
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that. Oh, duh.
Yeah, this makes it way easier.
Okay. Yes.
But does that put them alphabetical on there? We want shuffle on the board.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you ready? Here we go.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Dun, 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 dun.
M-Day! Woo!
Da, 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 da.
Okay, M-Day.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's a sensor beep. I thought it said
no,
cheer.
You're going to push a button, and then we're going to go robot voice. M-Day, I don't think you are here right now. We are going to give you, let's say, a week?
4 seconds. Oh.
Wait, what were you going to say?
To claim it.
4 seconds. M-Day, we're going to try to get in touch with you. And hopefully you can claim this in the next few days. So we'll give you the next few days. Someone can tag in Discord. If you can, like, I don't know, screenshot this and send it to M-Day.
I'm sure they're going to get bombarded with messages.
Do you remember the snowman?
Yes. Yeah. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I don't see you. It's like, I'm the snowman in front of you. And it was just staring up at you.
Yes. So congrats. Awesome. Cool. Oh, sorry. Well, it was okay. Ishtar's here. Hey, y'all. It would be so funny if it landed on me. All right, guys. It almost landed on you. So let's jump into it, Tom.
Okay. Crazy, right?
Well, okay. The last discussion that we had was the end of 5.0. It was the Remember That We Lived scene.
Was it that? No, it was the... No, we did the one on a stream, right? Where we saw Emmett come back.
Yeah, see, that's the problem because we streamed for 10 hours last weekend.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of 5.3. So.
Right, but that wasn't... but that was on a stream.
Oh, shoot. Was that 5.3? I thought that was the end of
5.3. That's not 5.3.
You guys are going to have to...
Because that's wherever Elidibus wraps up, which would be 5.3 was different. Because 5.3 we had gotten everyone back into the source.
No.
Yeah.
No, 5.3. No, that was 5.4.
And I'm barely done with 5. No. 5.
Well, it doesn't matter what point it was at. We just need to discuss what's been your favorite part. Let's start there.
Well, a lot has happened.
Obviously, I feel like you're into this story like more than anything because you won't stop playing. You keep itching to like jump in and
because you keep wanting to know what's gonna happen, and now we have Fandango showed up, and it's getting a little kooky
Fandango.
Again. Yeah,
you said, wow. All right, here's everyone. Everyone's gonna let us know what the deal is. I lost 5 Figmental rolls this week. Oh, I saw that. Okay, here we go. Thank you,
Sweet.
Cirilla. How surprised were you with the return of Ardbert at the end of 5.1?
Which return was that? He sort of popped up a couple of times.
Was this the Amuro Seto?
Yeah. Wait. I honestly don't remember. I can't remember which thing is which thing, because also the game doesn't tell you. I just feel like, oh, everyone told me to rest, so I know I'm at the end of a chapter.
Right. It doesn't say this is 5.0. Yeah. Congratulations.
So I don't know which return. Ardbert has showed up a couple times. One that pops out is when we went to visit Seto, because we found his Ardbert's like stone.
Yeah.
And which I guess was on his body when Elidibus desecrated it. And luckily, I guess, fell out. Otherwise, it could have potentially even caused him to be more powerful. But we found that, and it was like, oh, you know what? If you give this to Seto, that would be a good, like, he's the one that should have it. And so we bring him there, and then Ardbert, we're able to, like, let Ardbert show up and have a moment with him, which is, like, incredibly touching.
Yeah.
Because when he knew so Seto, nice. He couldn't talk. He wasn't, like,
yeah.
I don't want to say he wasn't sentient, but he couldn't speak.
Yeah.
And he got to, now it's been like so long, and he got to actually like, oh, that was hard.
I know, you guys saw the tears.
I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, we just got to wrap up, like, you never know when you're going to get hit with one of these things. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then Seto said he's going to set off on like his own adventures. He's like, I should have an adventure. I should go do something and fly to the horizon and do all this stuff. And I love that because it showed that Ardbert isn't gone. I don't know when, how much, if he can come back, but the fact, like, he's not just dissipated into the ether where we'll never see him. Like, there's ways to for him to sort of exist-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that.
Kayan's asking, did Tom shed any tears during goodbyes?
Let's see. I did feel bad for...
I know who you felt bad for.
Who?
Oh, Reen.
Well, I mean, I felt bad, but I didn't cry for her or shed tears for her. Who did I feel bad for?
Our boy who turned into Crystal.
Oh, Graha?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was rough, but I had hope that was like, this can't be the end of it. We got like, his soul crystal we just put in the back pocket, and everything's okay. It's like, it's his whole anyway. Next to the wallet. Okay.
5.3 Dungeon and Trial were on stream.
Thank you.
You haven't done any discussions since 5.0. How is 5.3? It's like an ending of itself.
See, 5.3 is when everyone comes back to the source. Yes, it is. And they're even like, that's when they're like...
No, it's Elidibus. They're saying goodbye.
5.3 was Elidibus. When does everyone then have...
I feel like you just did that. I feel like that was 5.4.
Where everyone's like eating cake. There's like a tea party, and then it's like more trouble. And this is
right.
This is where you have to go.
5.4.
Yes, because you have to go get Graha out of the crystal tower.
Because 5.3 we didn't finish on stream.
Right.
That's why.
Okay, that's why I'm thrown off. Then.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. We got it. Returning to the source is the end cutscene of 5.3. That's why. Yeah. 5.3 ends with everyone on the source. Yeah. Okay. You did stream the dungeon trial 5.3, so some manly tears were shed, but it was not a formal discussion. Yeah. Fandango, he came back and he's in 14. Fake Ardbert, aka Elidibus.
Yeah, Elidibert.
The Elidibus snatch body Ardbert. Fake Ardbert trying to pretend he's back.
Oh, that was, I guess we didn't talk about any of that.
We completely... Okay, yeah, so like, so let's backtrack. What was your first impression of like, okay, there's a walking and talking Ardbert?
So it's funny because as someone who, when Ardbert shows up in Heaven's Ward, not a fan at all, and then obviously big fan by the end of his whole story, and then to see clearly not him, it was like infuriating.
Yeah, it's really
and it's right. Of course, it's just right after everyone gets like, wow, like turns out they were heroes, and it's all amazing. And he shows up.
To the heart.
Oh, it's so manipulative.
Like even just like the way that his face is,
because it's not the like smart or the friendly or the whatever. It's like,
well, I feel like in a lot of Shadowbringers, it was so nostalgic. It's him reminiscing on, when we were just adventurers, when we were trying to do this, when we were figuring it out, and then when Elidibus walks in, it like there's no like furrowed brow. It's like such a straight face, and I'm like, oh.
I mean, they do a lot of like almost like antagonist or villain type, like camera angles and framing and a lot of like down looking up kind of like evil things.
Yeah.
So it's very clear he's not good, but it's so manipulative. And what's hard is the things he's telling everyone, like, oh, you anyone could be a warrior of light. It's like,
oh God, it's like,
that's not. And that's what's confusing. And that's what even the Scions say is like, we're not really against this message of like people trying and joining. Like, it's not bad to want to have the dream of helping and being more and doing what you can, but something is wrong and we can't figure out
manipulation. 1,000%. Oh. Let's see. We need to talk about the goodbyes. Chais and Seto had me crying at 2 in the morning.
When she was like, oh yeah, hers was hard. That was very sweet. They came a long way from when Alphino was pretending to be their artist.
Little painter.
Yeah. Even though she still calls him her little artist.
Aww.
Yeah.
His return as fake Ardbert, like Ardbert, when he shows up in the Crystarium, tries to convince the crowd to be Warriors of Light.
Yeah, and then he goes around the whole land convincing everybody.
But actually, there's one thing in this that was interesting, like big MSQ plot point, which was that Heidelin didn't choose you. She's talking to everybody, but you just happen to be like more perceptive
on the frequency.
Yeah.
Picked up the payphone.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, honestly, that makes me feel more in line with like currently, as you know, not the biggest fan of Heidelin. So
Heidelin hater.
I wouldn't go that far. Zodiac apologist.
Sympathizer.
This actually fits better because it's not her being. I was on the fence of like, oh, you're actually like, you kind of ruined this plan that these other people were doing, which was kind of working for them. Although she was summoned not of her own accord, I guess. But anyway, like it kind of like the Ascians had the whole Zodiac plan to keep things in balance, and it seemed like that was working fine until she showed up. So, and that's before everything was split and everything. So there wasn't like, oh, you need to protect these other worlds. There were no other worlds yet, no other people. So everything seemed fine until she showed up, and then it continued to escalate. And I have felt like, okay, so that is sort of like, it's the whole thing of like, light is bad in this world and darkness is good, which is the whole flip of everything. And that's interesting. And I have felt like many times she could have done more, but it's like you wait till last second or you don't, or you just explain in bits and pieces, and like it's very frustrating, and it does feel manipulative, and it does feel like I don't know that you are like, I don't know that you're all that in a bag of chips, as they would say in the 90s.
I was like, who says that?
All of us in 1997.
There are people here who have no idea what that is.
But this is interesting because the fact that she's just sort of like broadcasting on all frequencies.
It's a cry for help to anybody.
It implies that she is in distress and she needs help, which
is a different context.
And explains why she just can't. She can't always be there.
That's why it's so sloppy. And
can't give all the info. It can't be organized. Can't be as reliable. And that actually then fits where it's like, okay, you're not bad. You're not. It's not the flip where like you're actually the evil god and this is the good one. It's just like you're also struggling.
Kayan says, I shed tears during Lena's speech. Oh yeah, when everyone came from the Crystarium.
Oh yeah. Well, there was there was two. I was thinking of the goodbye, which wasn't voice, and I feel like it really should have been. We did that one on stream. That, but her actual speech at the end, was so good.
Yeah, like all of the Crystarium.
Just packed with everybody.
Oh. We just factory reset our Catboy. when all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail, and Graha's hammer is sacrificing himself for the Warrior of Light. Coco says, to me, the Exarch really did die. Are you really the same person if you have an extra soul inserted into another version of you that was sleeping in the tower?
That's like the soul of Theseus. The fact that he has his full memories and everything, though, is like...
Well, see, yeah, it is that, isn't it?
Well, that would be like,
like, when does it steal you if you've replaced everything?
Yeah, but I feel like because the memories, that's what they said, the mind and the memories, like the whole soul, not just the essence of the person, but also the experiences. That was what they had to figure out how to like encapsulate, and they did. So I feel like that is him. You know, it's like copying your computer's hard disk to a new computer, but all your files are in the same place, and it's like, this is a new computer, but it's like still my computer, like everything's still here.
Right.
The fact that he still has all the memories and has all the experiences, but he, like, the title of Exarch, obviously he's not that. He doesn't have those powers, those connections anymore, and he's super clear on that. Like, oh, like I don't have the power of the tower power anymore.
Tower.
But it's I love that he has like a young, healthy body instead of like the pain. Like, he couldn't go far away from the tower. He was in pain. It made those like crazy sounds.
Yeah.
And now he's just like vibrant, ready to go. He's like amped. I love that he gets to have that.
Yeah,
it's very happy for him.
Returning to your youth, almost. You know.
Yeah, and after everything he did, I just feel like he really deserves that.
You are so biggest G'raha fan here.
Which is funny because I was like, for most of Shadowbringers, I was like, it's just the guy that we locked in the tower. I don't know who it was, but it was just some guy.
Yeah, and now you love him. I feel like G'raha is a huge reason why you keep playing, because you're like, oh, finally G'raha gets to have these adventures he's been talking about.
He's definitely the one. Anytime he's standing around, you can click on him. I just always click his, like, same thing with like Emmett or Estinian, where I just always see like, what are they saying? I do that with him a lot, but it's funny though, because early on I was like, I think that's the guy there, and you're like, well, he has red eyes, and I was like, babe, they haven't taken off the cloak yet. I haven't seen his eyes yet.
My bad.
But it's not really a secret. Like, it's obvious. Who else is it gonna be? And that's what I said last time in another discussion stream, was it wasn't so much the surprise that it was him, it was more the how and the why.
Of course.
Were the interesting part.
Well, I told you, because the first thing that you say, that like when you first meet him, you have two dialogue options, and one of them is, hey, G'raha, or something.
Right.
So it's like, obviously.
I didn't remember who G'raha was. It's almost like Rogue One, the Star Wars movie that takes place in between episodes 3 and 4.
Right.
And it's like, obviously you know how this ends.
Right.
But it's like, how did all these things, or you like, it's
We've
not,
seen the ending.
It's not that everything is a surprise, but there's like details that want to be filled in that you don't know. And that's the interesting part. And that was similar here.
Hammered Sickled. A lot of people say 5.3 would have been perfect ending to the game after Elidibus and all the Scions returning to the source. Do you agree with that assessment before all the Fandango stuff?
Okay. It was a really good resolution, and part of me does feel that way, except that while the Scions were gone in the first, so much was still happening in the source that if you just went and kind of ended it, it would, when you went back and thought on it, it would leave a bunch of open ends that were like, wait.
See, I think the reason why I don't know, for some reason, as I said this, right? Like, when I started Shadowbringers, I was pissed because it took us to a completely different world. And I was like, dude, I want to know what's happening. There was a part of me that felt like, you know, it's like manufactured drama. Like, you know how we watch anime, it's like they just shove a bunch of characters because they get to a school, and it's like, here, all of a sudden, here's the arc of like just 10 new people you didn't even know. And I'm like, but there was already a huge thing happening. Why do you have to introduce all this stuff that has nothing to do with anything? That's obviously not true. It all has to, you know, it all fits.
Yeah.
But I think I was just so eager to go back that 1000% it would not have felt like an ending. Like the whole time I was like, Esty, how do like, you know,
what's going on with them?
Yeah, like, you know.
It kind of reminds me of, we talked about The Expanse in one of the previous streams. And if you read the books or listen to the books for The Expanse, they're told in character chapters. So each chapter is
from someone's perspective.
Or you know, about that character or whatever. And it always, every chapter builds to like, oh my God. And then you just jump to someone else like
completely unrelated on the other side of the universe.
It's usually not, it's usually not the other person in the room, and it continues. Every once in a while it might be, but it's usually like, we're way over here. And so many times while reading, I was like, I want to know what's happening here. But literally that happened at the end of every chapter. So as soon as you're a couple pages into the new chapter, you're like, okay, what's going on over here? And what's going on? And that's kind of how I felt here, where it's like, I want to know all this stuff. Now we're over here. Now the feeling I'm having is like, I don't want to be back on the source. Like,
Yeah, now you're all about the first. Hey, she's my mom and nobody else is. You guys get your own moms. Number one Heidelin doubter. Zodiac did nothing wrong. Tom 2025. It's all 200,000 BC. Why does she only appear when it's convenient for her? Gma in the house. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Mega Man, would you want to see more stories and other reflections in the future, or would you prefer to mainly stay in the source?
At this point, I want to know what's happening in the source, but I would like to have other stories as well.
Yeah, let me pull up my YouTube window. Let me see. They do mention at the end of ARR that she spent a lot of her power to shield you from the Ultima weapon.
That's right. They do mention that.
Cirilla, thoughts on Elidibus? I loved his VA. Really gave me so much character for just 3 patches of MMSQ.
Yeah, his voice acting was amazing.
Was good.
And it was weird when like Ardbert shifted to his voice.
Yeah.
Because at first it was Ardbert's voice, and then when you... Because it's literally like one of your dialogues with him is like something like, hi, Elidibus, or something like that. It's like, it's not that, but you call him out. And then the voice switches to that one. And that was really good voice acting. And what was interesting, so I really loved Emmett. I thought he was just super entertaining. I thought he was super interesting, super compelling. And so I was very sad when, we defeated him and now we just have to remember him. And then the thing with Elidibus was, I was like, when he showed up as like, okay, now that Emmett's out of the way, I can do my thing. And I was like, Emmett is such a good, like, counter,
lots of shoes to fill kind of a thing.
Yeah, and he just like tonally and like attitude wise and personality wise, he really was a good counterpoint to a lot of the other stuff that's been there, like the Varys type stuff. And so I was like, oh no, but Elidibus ended up being interesting in his own way, and then obviously at the end also then very like compassion inducing.
He induced compassion.
He induced compassion. I wasn't Willie, he just induced it, like vomiting.
The Graf situation actually raises a lot of questions. I don't think it's been fully resolved to my satisfaction. Tom loves young, vibrant cat boys. That's my takeaway.
They don't have dog boys, so.
There were a lot of people
they do have the wolf people. Sorry.
There were a lot of people who thought it could be Alphino from the future.
I just thought it was like, for me, for some reason, it was just so clear it was like someone from in the tower. And I was like, well, we locked someone in the tower in that thing I didn't want to do way back when.
I thought the pain was from the arthritis for being in his 120s and not the Crystal Tower. Let me see. Scanning through. I joined late, so I was already spoiled because Graf was in a trailer for a later expansion. Gil's here. Hey. Let's see.
Oh, the voice actor. You just afford him for the patch.
Oh, is that Elidibus?
Has to be.
Give us an update on how far you are at in this story too, Gil.
Yeah.
I think he just left, which is okay because talking about major plot points. I think he's still in A Realm Reborn. Maple, did you recognize Graha's English voice actor since he's become a lot more well known via other roles since Shadowbringers came out? Who is this?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I like his voice.
Okay, now I have to look it up.
Casual saying, don't they have dog boys? They have like the wolf. I'm thinking of the wolf. There's a whole Hildy quest where you get to spend with a wolfie. That's not Ardbert. Wait, that's not Graha. That's.
It looks like Ardbert.
But they were talking about Graha's voice actor.
Oh my god, he's younger than us.
But we're the same height, so there we go.
Oh man. Oh, this is Ardbert.
Okay, Matt Stocco.
This guy. Oh,
I thought you had a stream deck button to bring it up. I was like, jeez.
No. Matt Stocco. Let's see. Matt Stocco. Oh.
He's also younger than us by years.
Man.
But he's taller than me.
We gotta get used to that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, let's see. Oh, I need to catch up. Jonathan Bailey in Wicked and Bridgerton. He's a sweetheart. Oh, Graha's in Wicked, I hear.
Oh, see? One more reason to see.
I skipped the Crystal Tower dialogue during AR because I didn't like that they forced us to do it. I don't regret it. Still enjoyed Shadowbringers. I felt like you kind of...
I mean, well, I the story I actually did find interesting because you had like the clones. Yeah, like that was really interesting, but then it was PC and all of it's unvoiced, right?
Know, so
it's like... And it's weird too, because even going back, I understand what you say, because you keep saying like they really need to redo a lot of the Realm Reborn stuff.
It's so
because it's not even just that they're unvoiced; it's like weirdly quiet and like
there's no like it's I don't know. It's just it's so like hard to engage with.
I bumped the mic with my neck. Well, because even now, so. In where I'm at now, whenever there's a cutscene, literally I always have to wait. I'm like, I can't tell if it's going to be voiced or unvoiced because there's still like, there's the music and there's the sound design. And it feels like a whole world. And then it's like, is someone going to talk or is it going to be a text box? And it's like 50-50. Those ones, it's like oddly, there's like such minimal sound design that it feels empty. And
like literally in the Praetorium, all you hear is like the computer sound or whatever.
Like a fan.
That's
a
it. Fan. And I'm like, you know, I don't know. It just feels...
Well, and your point of like, this is people's first thing. So they...
Yes,
like...
this is the entry point. I feel like you should really lead with like a banger, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's worth investing in...
Keeping the classic version if anyone wants to do like the classic version.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on like, you know.
But yeah, I forget why that because you were talking about Crystal Tower skipping through. The story was great. The thing as I've said many times is like the raid series at that point not something I was ready for, and then the story was super interesting, but it was confusing because it was not connected to anything that was happening in the MSQ at that point.
Like just for real unrelated.
Yeah, so it was
not a single connection.
Yeah, at all.
So random.
And it wasn't even just that, but it was at a very interrupting point where it's like the MSQ was right about to reach its like climax, peak, and then it was like this. So I don't know if that could have been somewhere else. I guess in theory you could do it as soon as Outlandish Man shows up in Mordona. But then you're not really leveled up enough. If you wait to the longest possible where you have to do it, you're still barely leveled up and capable of like doing it. So if you do it right away,
I don't even think it's leveling. I think it's just like, are you even used to the game?
No,
because you had road to 90. So like by the time you got there, it was...
I don't think at that point I did, but
whatever. You had all the training wheels on.
Yeah.
You know,
bumpers, training wheels,
the whole
all the thing.
Suit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I think Tom was right in one of his theories from an earlier discussion. He theorized that the Ascians weren't all on the same page. Seeing Elidibus struggles was very enlightening, his memories.
Yeah, and that still seems to be the same case because now Van Daniel has shown up, and
I completely forgot about this guy.
That makes me very interested in how much of a main character he continues to be. But even he's just like clearly not one of the main ones, not like of the convocation like the others are. So
yeah, he's not of the unsung.
I think his name is a name and not a seat, a position. But there's just always gonna be someone that pops up. It's like, now it's my turn, and he's just nuts or whatever.
I have a question for you, but I'm gonna catch up with the comments and just see if anyone else wants to ask you things. Not that I would ever endorse third-party tools, but there is one that uses AI to voice the NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a video about this of like what I would change in 14. And one of my biggest things is, I think I've said this, is the like tick.
I forget what that's called.
Yakuza does that, where it's like it matches, or Ace Attorney.
Everything does it.
Yeah.
Like every game does it.
Even just from like a disability standpoint, like it put it in there in the accessibility options or whatever. But I think it's just, it like helps you to stay engaged. I don't know.
No,
anyway,
I love it.
I don't need like full on voice, I don't think is my point. At the time I did Shadowbringers, Crystal Tower wasn't required, but I had done it because my friend softly encouraged me to do it while I was working on the AR patch quest.
How very
glib. The rains of seas, and we have been graced with a new day, but you are not here to see it. One of the best lines on the whole script. Yeah, I actually I watched that one on your screen.
Yeah.
I did side content immediately. I was astonished when I found out Crystal Tower wasn't mandatory by Shadowbringers launch. To be honest, they fixed it in an early patch, though. The AI voice acting sounds double bad. I haven't heard it, so.
It is hard because the voice actors have gotten so good.
The AI?
No. Like the real voice
acting,
actors.
yeah.
Like the voice acting is, especially at this point in the game. I mean, really from Heavensward and Beyond, especially, it's like it levels up huge. So then go to an AI, which I guess the argument is like, well, it's nothing, or at least you have a voice. But that's why I like your like typing sound is good.
Huge difference. It would make a huge difference. Okay, so H.
Oh yeah.
You were talking about
Hythlodaeus.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's Hythlodaeus or Hythlodius.
Hithy.
If do you have, because I think there was a thing of you found out that there was this 14th seat or something. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it was like because he had the stone that was like never really like officially a stone. We were going around Amarot trying to collect all these stones, which were very like conveniently placed to lead you to him, obviously, because even the dialogue was like another stone, almost as if it's set there on purpose for you to find.
So why was it set like that? Did it give an explanation?
Because you're collecting all of the stones, and then you find him, and he gives you the 14th, and then when you see Elidibus, he's like, "Oh my god! Like these are all like my friend." Like they obviously mean a lot to him. And that's where I was sort of unclear of like if you temporarily got the power of the 14th one, or if it was like what it represented, during that final battle with Elidibus.
Yeah.
I was a little unclear on that. But then Elidibus, that's when you really find out like there was first a different person in that role, and then like after Zodiark, he filled up that role, and yeah.
The 14th person, I remember reading on your screen, was a person who, it was a unique position because they weren't like in the office.
Well, that's why I thought like, is it H? Like, or is it? I was like a little confused because part of the description sounded like Emmett, where it's like you go and you get a bigger perspective of everything.
Yeah, like you go out, right? Like that was the whole thing of
you go. You're not in this. You're out doing your own thing, and you're gaining all kinds of other insights and perspectives from around. It's like that is what Emmett did, but it's not him because he had a very specific seat of the seat of
Emmett.
Yeah. But Hythlodaeus, that's what I'll say it for now. Especially him like inferring like, oh, we were friends, like Emmett and I were really good friends, and then it made sense to me where, since that sounded like something Emmett would do, even though that wasn't his role, but it's the thing that you are doing, it makes sense you guys would be friends because you're probably just really similar. But I don't know if that was explicitly, if that was implied or said, or just not even a thing at all that I'm just making up.
What did you think about that insane solo duty right before the 5.3 like trial, I think, where it was like you went through the whole game?
Oh, where you have to go.
Yeah, like all, Emmerich, Lucia, Stormblood.
Yeah, you have to defeat all your friends or whatever. It was interesting because like I actually didn't feel bad about killing them all because he repeats over and over again like these are just monsters. These are just monsters, which I think is, if you were in that actual position of having to do it, it might be a little tougher, but he was so clear about it not really being the people or their spirits or anything. It's just representation of them. So I actually didn't feel bad about defeating them, but it was just really interesting to remember like, oh my gosh, like there's obviously like
been on a journey.
It was a really good recap of like, wow, it's been a lot. It's been a whole lot. And he's able to also pull those obviously from the source, not just the first. So it's everybody.
Yeah. Hythlodaeus. Let's see. I prefer text to voice acting. I grew up with JRPGs and never got used the wave in video game that started voicing things. I consider it like reading a book. I think Crystal Tower became required at 5.3 patch, since you have to seal him in the tower before you can unseal him.
Right.
That makes sense. No, I mean, like, I'm not one to defend modding, but recommends mod based on Hitler is probably my favorite character. I love him. That's modding and replacing creatives. Awesome. Light probably. Let's see. During the trial about killing figments of past enemies and friends, I was just terrified the whole time he'd make me.
Why did that get so loud?
It's a travel guy. Oh my god, he's in Iceland. We've both been there. Sorry, a commercial just came on our TV, which was very loud.
Anyway. Yes, I actually had that same thought. I was expecting that.
He didn't, though.
No. You had to kill Emmerich, though.
Oh. Personally, I had to go back and rewatch that cutscene from Etched in the Stars a few times to fully understand.
Is that the one? That's the Crystal Tower thing? Because I went back and rewatched those too.
Before. Oh, you did? No, yeah. I don't know what that is.
I don't know if that's it, but I before we were getting to the end, I went back and watched him getting sealed in.
Oh, this is the Constellation Crystal quest you were talking about.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. I recommend going back and making sure you understood.
Yeah, I should do that. There's just a lot that happens.
Yeah. Let's see. So Graha, you want to talk about him?
Well, let's do Cyrilla's question first. This is a good one. Were you surprised by Elidibus's big brain plan of summoning heroes from across the rift?
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that
during the trial fight. I mean, that is an interesting plan to prey on the positive hopes and ambitions of others.
Yeah. What?
I feel like you have thoughts.
No.
Oh, I mean, that was it was very interesting. Why do you want them to do? Because I was so confused. Why do you want people to do this? Because it seems like you're encouraging people to act against your interests. And obviously there's a reason for that. But is even the Scions, like I said, they were it doesn't seem, we don't disagree.
Right. I remember them standing there in the Crystarium just is this a threat?
Yeah.
How do we deal with this?
Yeah, obviously something's bad, but we don't know what. And then that explains it, because you need this power. You need this. He doesn't need the actions. He needs the intention.
Oh, that's what was happening.
So it's just anyone who's yes, I'm going to do this. Even then boom, you add to the power.
I see.
Yeah.
What did you what is your overall thought on Elidibus, since I think he was the least remarkable to you in the beginning, right? Because he was, he's the white robed one.
I mean, the thing. As soon as the Ascian music plays, I was like, oh god,
so you have the biggest eye roll.
Because it's always something really interesting, dynamic, and then it cuts dark room and person in robe.
It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic.
Which is why, though, it makes you feel like they're very ordered, and that was. So I'm not even really being critical of that, because it does present them as being very much on the same page, of one mind,
meticulous plan.
Yeah, and it's no, that's not the case. There's all kinds of infighting, all kinds of disagreements. When one disappears and the other shows up to do his version, and that. I don't know.
And now we have Fane Daniel, who's oh, good riddance.
I will say I didn't expect to be sympathetic towards Elidibus at all, and they definitely make you sympathetic towards him, because it's the thing of we were talking about Silo, but it's the thing of you took this on before you were ready, you were thrown into this when you were still kind of young and innocent, and now it's been twisted.
And it's everything he's ever known is in his hands.
And that's where you even see it start to it's Hythlodaeus says his intentions were good, even if he can't remember the whys behind it, or whatever, and then you say something you bring it up to him, he's no, I have to do this because I made a promise to,
and then he starts
someone, and it starts to fall apart, and then it makes him, you think he's gonna crack, but then it makes him more mad. So
it's easier to be angry. You gotta double down. That is
but then obviously he breaks, then
yeah. Let's see. I just have to check if any of the mods delete comments. That's why I look at YouTube.
You're clicking all around over
there. Let's see. Do you want to hear about an Easter egg you can sometimes see in the Hero's Gauntlet? We know all about it, Maple. We checked.
We didn't get it, but then I had to go look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you wanted to see. Well, at first I was like, it was casual, led us to this like wall, and I was like, that's not.
I was like, oh, we have to sit here for like enemies to pass or something.
Yeah, and I was like, this is not the way to go. And I was like, oh wait, I think he's trying to show us a thing.
Yeah, which is interesting though. Oh, I guess it makes sense because he has the intention of
right.
He's not necessarily like trying to be a warrior of light, but he has the intention of like, I want to
save something,
to do good and be the Manderville man and all the things.
You talked a lot from the start about how the Ascians weren't all on the same page. Do you think you understand more now about the Unsundered's plans? Do you think they all had the same goal or same end goal?
That'd be like the convocation, right? It seems like there's a thing in real life when you have like a board, right? I know you and I have talked about this in like work life, but if there's like a board of directors or a board of whatever, everybody can have their differing opinion, but when the board delivers an opinion or something, it needs to be
one voice.
Yeah. So you go in your meeting, you argue out, flesh it out, whatever, and then this is what we have decided, even if everyone's not on the same page.
Yep.
And I feel like that's maybe how it started way back when. But it seems like a lot of it, for whatever reason, what happened to Elidibus maybe happened to a lot of people where like they almost forgot.
It's been so long that it's like, what?
Yeah, they either weren't even around anymore, or it's just a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and they can't remember the original like intent, the original purpose. So I feel like that was because their plan is to essentially like use Zodiark to prevent the final days, right?
Right,
but then there's the other
like to rewind everything, right? Or is it just like wipe what is? See, I didn't like watch all your cutscenes, so and I don't remember.
Well, there's different eras, but like the initial thing, like before it's all when everything's like more concrete, like you have Amarot. However you say it, you have that and everything's great and it seems like a cool society.
Yeah.
So you have that. As that starts falling apart, then you have the convocation that shows up to try to figure out what to do, and that's when Zodiark comes in as a solution, right? Like they're the ones that come up with this solution in one way or another.
I believe so.
And then there's
I'm looking to the chat because I know they can
Splinter faction. Of not the convocation, but just of other like Ascians or whatever that
right in that place where Ystrola was in, right? But she got taken to by Elidibus.
Yes.
And then you see these like other robed figures that are like, we need to come up with some plan B or something like that.
Yeah, they weren't trusting in this plan, so then they're the Hydaelyn summoners, and then that's what like and so what's interesting about it is there's this problem happening. Zodiark is in one way a solution to the problem,
but obviously there's like some kind of base that's not
covered
because Hydaelyn.
Yeah, because Zodiark could be looked at more as like a band-aid rather than a cure.
Is that what they thought?
I mean, they didn't say that, but like I feel like if you don't try, like it's
they were not in agreement. They went rogue.
Yeah, it's not. It might fix this problem. It's going to cause more problems, kind of thing, and then. Yeah, and they're looking to stop. It's like whatever it's that old like that children's story of like the woman who swallowed a fly and then swallowed a frog and then swallowed like the old woman who swallowed a fly and she couldn't get the fly out, so then she just ate the whole world basically. If I'm not mistaken, she like swallowed a frog to get the fly, then she had a frog in there, so she swallowed I've
never heard this.
Like a rat. I don't know. She ends up, the physics of it leaves something to be desired and raise a lot of questions. It's very confusing when you're in kindergarten and you read this story and you're told not to eat like your glue stick or whatever.
I've never heard this.
This is the thing.
Look at you.
Then she ate a horse and she died, of course.
You looked for affirmation in the chat. He was like, someone back me up.
If I just made this up, then I'm going to publish this award-winning old woman who swallowed a
God,
fly.
I'm dying, dude. That was funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know an old lady. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. Yeah, see, it's a whole thing.
It's animated.
Well, this version's animated. What happened to the old lady that swallowed a fly? Her dying after swallowing a horse. That is how it ended. That's very different than like my... All three versions begin with the lady swallowing the fly and end with her dying after swallowing a horse. What a crazy summary for this thing. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. Yeah. It's very much a thing.
Never... God.
She eats the whole world.
Gosh.
Anyway.
What, like, how is every kindergartner not afraid of old ladies now? How horrible. God.
Of old ladies. Afraid of flies and horses. But her thing is, it's constant, like, problem, solution. The solution is another problem. Now there's another thing. And that's where I was thinking, like, Zodiark was the fly, but now you need a thing to... Heidelin was the thing to get the fly, basically. I think that's what those people...
Was that your point?
That was my point.
Okay, maybe just different methods of achieving it, different mini goals along the way. Cholo and China in the house. Hello, Lucy.
Hey.
Let's see. Wait, since Tom is in 5.4, did he pick up the new Hildy quest in 5.3?
Is there a quest? Because
I'm in Heaven's Ward.
I looked up a while ago, like, when is the next Hildy quest after Stormblood? And it said 5.3. And I was like, okay, awesome. But then everyone was like, oh no, 5.3 is just the cameo in the...
Hammer and Sickle. Next Hildy quest isn't until after Endwalker, actually.
Wait, what?
In Endwalker, I think.
He said after Endwalker.
Oh, are you nervous? No. I'm pretty sure it's that. Because I know this because there's like the weapons.
Oh, in Endwalker.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's not like a spoiler or anything.
No.
Yeah. They should have just made Hildy one of the bosses in the run. That would have been dope.
But if you didn't, because he is optional, if you didn't do any of it, you'd be like,
that's true.
What is happening? Why is this a thing? Everything's very meaningful, and then it's just confusion.
Do you have any thoughts or theories about what the future patches, the next expansion will be about?
So where we're at right now, where I'm at right now is the like Garlean towers have just shown up all over that Van Daniel has said are somehow Quantum being able to like recreate the final days. He wants to recreate the final days
for...
Well, what he's saying currently is for... Well, it's for Xenos.
To have this
trying to create a hunting
backdrop.
ground so Xenos can have a backdrop for a battle with us, the Warrior of Light. And Xenos is just... All he cares about is like that.
I know, I'm telling you,
he
man.
stepped on his sword in the last scene and broke. He's like, I need a new weapon. Step on my sword.
Oh, I missed this.
Oh, he threw a fit,
Xenos did?
Well, he didn't really throw a fit. It was a scene where he's in his chair and he's like looking at his sword, and then Fandaniel shows up, and even in Fandaniel, I actually... Okay. I don't want to say I like him, but I like his insanity.
Right.
His like gesture-ness.
Yeah.
Especially... Again, like I like contrast with Xenos, who's just bored of everything, despite like being reincarnated, essentially, still bored. And even Fandaniel was like, because Xenos like threatened to kill him, and he was like, "Oh, it would be better to be killed by you rather than like some lower life form. I'll keep that in mind as a last resort." And it's like, oh god, okay, like I don't know what your ultimate goal is. I can't help but feel like he's using Xenos.
It was so funny because when he walked on screen, I was like, oh my God. Because I don't remember, right? I was like, oh my God, I know who that is. Do you know who that is? And you're like, who is this? Who's that? I was like, you don't recognize this voice?
I blocked it out. I completely blocked it out.
And then I was like, it's Wiener Kid.
Yeah, I totally blocked it out. But then it's little Wiener Boy. But then I had the thought of like, oh, okay. I can't remember her name, and I know it's not Yosetsu.
It's Yosetsu. No, it's not.
Yatsuyu.
I just repeated what
I was like, what? You want a different emphasis on a different syllable? That didn't make it right. Yosetsu is their couple name when they're shipped together, but Yatsuyu. Yeah. I was like, oh, if somehow he's around, maybe she can somehow come back. Because that's but no, he's dead. It's the same thing of just like, we found another body and we're going to use it. So, and it just happened to be like,
But you know what? The thing I hated about Asahi, or not hated, but like, it's like you said, hated, because it was his voice. It's so like good for the character where it like makes me so, makes me feel away. And especially as Van Daniel, it's like, God, it's like he can play
over the top,
voice. Yeah, and it's really fun to watch.
It's really fun, just the complete insanity. And I love those villains.
It's like you said, the camera angles and the wide eyes. It's just very like.
It's the stuff I initially liked about Emmett. Emmett ended up having a surprising amount of heart, but I liked his. The thing with Emmett was like the whole empire being so rigid, and then he shows up and he's just like. Very not that, and that's obviously the way he and Varys had
Garlean Empire.
Yeah, and that's why they had their disagreements. But I really like that, and then Van Daniel's like jesterness takes that to the next level of like just insanity. But I have a hard time believing that he's gonna have the same like heart that Emmett had to even show up and save the day at the end. Like I don't think that's gonna be the case.
Okay, you didn't answer the question, but we'll go back to it.
Okay.
Which is like, what do you think the next?
I was trying to explain what was happening, where things were, because the towers have shown up. So Van Daniel's here. So obviously, like it comes down to us having to stop this thing from happening, which means stopping Xenos and stopping Van Daniel. And I don't know if their goals are actually aligned or not, or what their goals really are. But we did just have a scene that was all of the leaders in the source together at once. Which you haven't seen all of them. I haven't seen Raubon in like forever.
I think the last time you was literally at that same table.
Yeah,
because that's when Urianger and Thancred like fell asleep and went to the first.
Yeah. So obviously it's something that brings everybody together because the towers affect everywhere. They're not just. It's not one. Yeah, everything's kind of been regional, right? Like everything.
Alamigo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. It would have to be scripted loss, like Nashu tripping and bombing him. I did eat glue. I feel like we all did. We made the hands.
Oh yeah, the peel, the glue skin. Yeah.
This is a real story. I've read it as a kid. I know that story.
See? A lot of us are in the same age bracket-ish.
You're 99% correct. Of the 14, one person didn't participate in either the Zodiark Heidelin summoning. I remember that book being scary as a kid because so many things were in her stomach.
Yeah, the physics of it raise a lot of questions.
Dang, that is old Tom. I remember that. There were 3 unsundered Ascians, La Habrea, Emmett, and Elidibus, as in they have the entirety of their souls. Every other Ascian is essentially a shard of their former ancient selves.
Okay. And they're all gone now.
What did I come back to? Fly swallowing. Hythlodaeus mentioned that special seat. Yeah. I don't know why she swallowed a fly.
Yes,
perhaps she'll die. The cow's fine. The horse was what did her in. Just like how Hitlo commented on how you and Ardbert are shards of a former ancient that he used to be friends with. I stopped paying attention for like a minute, and what the heck happened to the stream?
So you don't stop paying attention.
Okay, let me see. Hildy's Endwalker patches.
Oh, so that means he's not in Endwalker. He's in the patches.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. But at the rate you're going, it'll be like a month.
I miss that guy, though. It's been since Storm freaking Blood.
If you go to different maps across the world, you could see the towers. Have you done that?
Oh, no, I don't think I have. I mean, I've done hunting logs, but I haven't noticed the towers.
Oh, Bond confirmed. Gotta have final 6.0 quest, the title quest. The title of the expansion.
It literally is after Endwalker.
Okay. He gave up the mall swordsman weeb persona. Bowl cut hair boy Asahi.
I feel like he has a slightly different haircut. See, they're made to be together, you know?
I saw his eyes and was able to forget those eyes from when they were look at you with such demented anger. Yeah.
But first he shows up, it's the traditional thing of like you can't see the eyes, like Crystal X.
The bowl cut though.
Yeah,
it's still there. Still got it. But now he's got
I feel like he has like bangs kind of or something now. He has like it kind of goes. I feel like he did a little bit of home
bowl cut.
I think he like got this.
But he's got the cool robe now. You know.
Yeah.
You'll get rewarded by getting the Endwalker relic. They look so cool. Like
it's funny that those
it catches my eye every time. Every time I'm like, oh, your weapon looks cool. It's an Endwalker relic.
See, Casual's got the middle part with the low.
You should when you get your haircut.
No, I mean, one, my hair can't do that, and two, no, even if it could.
So, yeah. How do you feel? What's your biggest question? Like, what do you want to know right now?
I don't know. I don't know if I mean, okay, my biggest question is on a singular thing. I'm very worried going into the final expansion. I was like amazed that like Graha lived. I'm amazed at this point that the Scions are still alive. And I'm like, okay, we're going into the final expansion. Well, you know, I know it's not the final, but the final expansion. That's gonna be real miraculous if we come out unscathed and it's the whole group hanging around again and like so yeah, that's my it's not a question, but that's my question.
That's your feeling.
Yeah.
How do you I mean, I know we're not officially done with Shadowbringers, but like
I think I am though at 5.5, right? That's Endwalker ramp up.
I mean, roll credits finished.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Haven't watched the Endwalker trailer yet.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Actually, let me ask you guys this. Watch the Endwalker trailer now? Is this the time to watch it? Are you guys maybe we could just watch it right now?
Well, I'm in 5.5, like 2 quests into 5.5.
Yeah, but I think the expansion quests come out between 0.4 and 0.5.
Okay.
Or the expansion trailers.
That's where I'm at. So if that's the time to watch the trailer, yes, we could watch it now. That'd be really
Are we
fun.
pro Asians these days? We bringing back the rejoining, subscribing to their newsletter? I'd subscribe. Shoot.
Your thoughts are intriguing. I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Your thoughts are... I would like to discuss further.
Yeah. So when Emmett's thing of recreating Tempest or whatever, like Amarant, was really effective. Because that's the thing where I was like, this is what you're trying to save? Like, yeah, where do I sign? Like, let's go. Obviously, though, as like Alizé especially was the one who like pointed out, it's not a real feasible plan. Like, it really isn't. And the fact that then he kind of went off the deep end and was like, even when we rejoin, then I'll sacrifice like half the people here to bring. And it's like, oh, okay. Reel it in. Like, the old woman swallowed a fly. Now you're jumping straight to horse. Like, that's, let's chill for a minute. Let the stomach acid do its thing on its own. But that was the thing of like really understanding where he was coming from. It wasn't unreasonable how he was feeling, why he was feeling. And I really do wish we were able to like come to an agreement and understanding where he could like trust us more to, which I mean at the end where he's like, remember us, like remember that we lived, like you trust us. But like knowing that the world he loved was gone and is gone, but letting it live on by being able to bring elements of it to us, not like imperfect beings and whatever and all that kind of stuff, but just like this, like you can have it live on through generations of existing people.
Yeah.
And so I went like, it's not like pro Asian, but it was understanding at least that one Asian.
Aw, I like that.
Yeah, but obviously that didn't happen because then, yeah.
Really quick, hold on. Come here.
What do you do?
Come here.
There's a corgi in the way. He's not going to come. There's a blockade. Go around the Korg and it's a whole thing. Get a bone to chew.
Okay, now he's chewing a bone. All right. Let's see. Are you guys react to Endwalker trailer? He's anti-Heidelin, can never forgive. Who do you think is most likely to not make it? That's a good question. I also want to know if you had to pick a favorite character at this point.
Okay, well, two separate questions. You said the other day, you're like, Graha's on borrowed time. And I was like, please don't let, yes, but don't let that be foreshadowing of anything.
I'm not saying anything anymore because I feel
going
like
through all this just for him to get sliced down in a battle or whatever is like, no.
No.
It would be like unbelievably tragic for Alphino or Alize, because Alphino's been there since the beginning. I mean, I know they both have, but especially him. And for one of them to lose the other would just be like, I don't know that you could ever recover in any way. Yeah, so it's like there's not like a dispensable scion. Stola's had her thing where she's like, she's sort of had underlying issues that have not really been addressed. So I don't know if she's in a weakened state or what. She doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I don't know. Thancred seems like the self-sacrificing type, especially after everything he went through in the first. I mean, I would be fine if they all survived.
I liked their goodbye, by the way. Thancred and Reen. That was like so adorable.
It definitely made me feel differently towards him throughout Shadowbringers, but then by the end, when he came around, he like redeemed himself, and now like,
yeah, everyone's, we're all allowed to mess up.
Yeah. I mean, he went through a lot. They came to an understanding. They worked really hard, and I appreciated it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say I appreciate sort of like the happy ending, relaxed nature of the end cutscene of 5.3 because I feel like you need those moments for diving back into chaos.
Yeah,
it is the time. It was shown during FanFest right after 5.5. Just watch after 5.5. So this is when the player base would have seen it live. I mean, we could totally watch it right now.
Well, they're saying 5.
Do it now to react. If you want to be ultra safe, just watch after the teaser trailer, but the full trailer dropped right around 5.52, so you're good.
Okay.
Wait. Links. Can you share? Hammer Tickled your mod, so can you share the link? The thing is, I don't know if I have audio on here. Also, we do have an event, an HJP event happening at like in 50 minutes.
At 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time?
Yeah, I want to make sure everyone knows. Tom, at this time, Grahatia would try to sacrifice himself to make you a sandwich.
I know, it's true. I stopped trying to sacrifice yourself.
His ears, when he's like so excited to party with you.
You know a weird thing?
So adorable.
And this is...
I have to like close these blinds. It's so hard.
Yeah, this is a weird thing that I've noticed with the Makote. At least, I think it's only the Makote male characters. Because even... Chai has this in the first. I guess he's not technically a Makote, but
Yeah.
Is their hands when it's just relaxed at their side? Their hands are kind of like this, just like it's very like
that's the relaxed position.
Yeah, it's like it feels like it doesn't need to be that way because then they do things and everything's very normal, like when they hold their weapons or they talk or whatever, and then they go back to like this weird like lock knuckle like trigger finger.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing that like throws me off. There's a link.
Here's this. Okay. Favorite character. Well, who's your favorite? Wait, did you say your favorite character already?
Favorite? No. I mean, mine would have to be Emmett. Like,
I mean, like in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, no. Well, sorry. Cyrilla said in this expansion. So Emmett, yes. Although, yeah, there's a lot of really good characters.
Like if you had to just pick in all of 14. As of this moment.
That's really hard.
Just gut instinct. Gut reaction.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't
it's the I feel like my first impulse, the one I think of, if you're just like, who is it? Name someone for $1 million or something, right?
Okay.
I can I'll have a name, but then when I think about it more, then I'm like, oh, this person,
yeah,
this
see,
person, this person. Yeah.
Okay, mine would probably be Alphino. Especially because there was an interesting bit of dialogue recently where like, oh yeah, because they brought in freaking Fordola to go help with the things, and I like totally forgot about her, despite her. I thought she was a city. Like I was like, they're like, we need to bring Fordola. And I was like, oh, so where's that on the map? And it was like, she walked in. I was like, oh, yeah.
She was a city.
And I forget the guard's name that the two of them are going off to like try to deal with the towers and figure stuff out. God, the guard who kind of has the echo, but not as much as we do.
Arenvold.
Yes, of course. And they're talking, and he's talking about Alphino. He's like, I thought all the time in the first would have helped you grow, but you're still the same size. And Alphino on this whole thing about like, look, we take a long time. And that's when I realized, I was like, oh yeah, he and Urianger are the same race. But,
and Urianger's like hella tall.
Yeah, but then Urianger says, he's like, it wasn't until I was like way older that I finally like grew. And then it was funny because Arenvald was like, look, there's not much I can do. Even Alphino, he looks like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people in like 5 lifetimes. It's like the way he said, like, yeah, he might look like he's 12. But it makes me think that maybe at some point in Endwalker, we'll get like, he will alpha grow. Yeah, maybe, which would be interesting. I guess Alize would then too.
Right.
They are twins.
Yeah. So Alphino.
I think that would be, because like right now, like I actually lean towards Graha because his story and the role that he fits and his personality and his like just his whole like thing is,
you love it.
I love it, but he wasn't in most of the game, so it's hard to be like, what about Heavensward? What about Stormblood? What about like everything else we did? You either weren't there or you were asleep in a tower. So it's hard to like overshadow everybody else, and especially the ones.
Yeah, who's been.
Alphino was on the freaking cart at the opening cutscene.
I'm surprised you remember that.
With Brent or whoever I talked to.
Okay, everyone's saying to watch the full trailer.
Cool.
They got that kung fu action grip. Miko got perma kitty claws at Idol. Those 10th capoeira grippies.
Maybe this is a thing I stumbled in.
Arthritis. Emmett is the best character, I think. Not even just in 14, but across the whole series. There's a strong argument. He's the best written villain.
He's incredibly well done. Just from the second he shows up to the last second I've seen him so far.
So check this out. This is how I know that he's my favorite character.
Who?
Emmett.
He's your favorite, really?
When I logged in and resubscribed, the minion I had was him.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I didn't even remember who it was until, when we started talking to everybody and all that. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh, see, that's why you had it out. That was why you logged off with that one.
Yeah.
So
there is a thing where you had to show Graha his minion of him.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Alfie is my first idiot son, but I love Isinian too.
Yeah, I mean, like Emmett is the one that like really comes to mind, but again, like,
yeah,
not there. But he's so good though. Like any second he's on screen is just like, hang on, let's enjoy this.
Oh, your thoughts on developing the cure for tempering?
Oh, right, we didn't talk about that. So interesting because it brings everything together. Like nothing's wasted, right? Like.
Yeah, especially with the Gabu, It's
like my God, we got to hear Gabu's little chimney sweet voice.
I know, and he like talked to the patriarch and everything. It's so adorable. Oh.
Yeah, he really sounds like he's just gonna go little British boy.
He's so cute.
No, that was brilliant. And then having to, which I actually did that dungeon with the NPCs.
See, so he went through a dungeon, and I was like, "Are you gonna, hit up HJP?" But you were so eager to jump in dungeon with Graha.
Yeah, I was. But I also the last time I did that, I didn't get past the first boss. So I was like, okay, I can go in, get a feel for what it's like, so I'm not a total like.
You did it though.
Underwater, and then we actually made it through. And the final boss, that's where you're. That's actually a really cool dungeon. It would be fun to do with people because you go through.
I don't remember it at all.
You go with Matoya. It's like, I don't know if it's called workshop or what, but everything's a mess, and you have to get all the parts so you can make like a mother Porksy who can then, which is very smart. Instead of them like going through all this incredibly draining stuff for everyone, you just have one of the familiars make more familiars. And so you get all the stuff. So every element has a boss you have to fight, and at the end you put them all together. You put them in your easy bake oven, and you make the mother Porksy. And it's funny because she's not evil, but it's the way Matoya says it, it's a newborn. It's like a very stubborn newborn that you have to put in their place, and then she becomes super tame. So that whole battle is just like, I mean, to be fair, it's a very powerful newborn that was literally born with a crown and a robe. So like, yeah, how's it not going to have an attitude problem? Like you gotta.
The guard, he is a Scion, just not first string. He's C team Scion.
Wait, who is
Arenvald?
Okay, yeah,
he is he's been there from a robe.
Well, it's like Hoary Boulder, basically, right? Who's
yeah. Well, I would. Yeah.
But I mean, like, there are people who are like, I guess he was more of the
or whatever.
Arenvald
was there when like they got invaded.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
And I remember the Crystal Braves. Like, I guess that's where Hoary Boulder came in, where he was like, "You can't dissolve us. Like, we're still going to be here."
Right.
Yeah.
Arenvald's 19. That makes me mad. B team being the Boulder Bros.
We saw the brother yesterday. Brother Boulder.
I was walking through Gadania and I was like, "Do you know who this is?"
It was like whatever. It was like blank Boulder. I was like, "Is that Hory's brother?"
Yeah, the cure for tempering. Let me see. Oh yeah, the whole plot line. I just kept remembering the people who were tempered in the past who couldn't be saved. Forgetting an ancient being is very thematic. Estinian is my precious idiot cousin. Gabu. Did he see the Yestola cushion?
Cushion?
I don't know what the cushion is. The Piggies. Square puts out little short stories in their Tales of series on the Lodestone. There's one from Shadowbringers that I really love because it's written from Emmett's perspective. Highly recommend. Ooh. We'll definitely read. So what Ivan's talking about here, the little short stories, that's what that book is. It's all the short stories from Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward.
It's the same ones?
Yep.
Okay.
That are on the Lodestone.
So you have it.
Yeah. I think you would love it.
I would definitely like that.
Love it, yeah. It was in the dungeon.
What was in the dungeon?
The Yestola cushion, apparently. We should do it again.
Yeah, no, it'd be a really fun dungeon to do with people.
Okay, last thing that we're going to do is watch this trailer. You ready?
Sure.
How do we do this? Is it better if we do it on the PlayStation? Because I have that set up, actually. And then there's audio. Your girl got it.
Here.
I got this. I could do it. So we're going to watch oh man, for the Endwalker.
I don't remember when this happened, but I think it's been sometime in the past that I switched to playing on the Xbox. Not with the controller, but
that's okay.
It's so nice though. Oh my god.
This was a week ago. Hi Benny, do you guys see this? He brought his little hedgehog. Okay.
It's his minion.
This is his familiar. Finley's getting jealous.
They want a little bit of attention.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna watch this as soon as we can.
Anyway, playing on the console is like such a different experience because.
Yeah. Now you have your giant monitor.
Well, I have a giant monitor, giant 32-inch monitor, which I now love.
And you decided to stick with it. You tried the other one, and it was not the business.
Not the biz for me. 32 is where it's at.
Yeah.
But everything's just so smooth. I can even have all the names of all the NPCs and all the other players and stuff, and it's not like everything's just smooth all the time, and it's so crystal clear. Ugh, it's like a new game.
Can you guys hear? Wait, hold on. Let me switch here. Me? Okay, hold on.
Can't see you.
I'll just lean in.
Lean into it.
Lean into it. Hold on. We're gonna do this. We got this.
It looks like there's volume. It's just not a lot happening.
But I can turn it up. Why can I go over there? Oh, hold on. Okay, here. This. Give me 1 second. We could do this. You're just gonna have to tell jokes, Tom.
I can't
pun on the names. That's too much to ask. Final Fantasy 14 puns.
Well, I was gonna say, like, how do you keep track as an English teacher? How do you keep track of all of the different worlds out there? You cite your source. Sorry, that joke. It was my first.
You're still going. Wow. Look at you. Okay, let me adjust the audio. Tell me if this is... Okay, how's this? That might be hard to... Here, you'll be able to tell on this screen. He can't do it on command. Unsubscribe.
I can tell a joke on command, but I was trying to go in theme. I can be like, how do you prepare for a party in space? You plan it. Why did the Scarecrow get an award? He was outstanding in his field. When does a regular joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. I can just
pull them out.
Yeah.
All right. How's that audio?
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
I don't know.
You think it's R, but 'tis the C.
There you go. We're losing viewers right now.
We're in the negative. That? People are somehow undoing their view.
Let's see. Did we ever find out which one brings shadow and which one brings light? I play on a laptop from the ancient times.
My laptop is good. I mean, I edit all my 4K YouTube videos on it, but Final Fantasy, I thought it was fine because I didn't know any better. And I was like, this is fine. And then I'd look over at the PS5 and just be like, wow, your battles are like smooth. You're not. Mine just wasn't like that.
Okay, are you ready? Is this the one? Is this the right one? This one. Let me just confirm before I play it. Like, this is the one that you guys
Spoiler edition.
Yeah.
So remember when everyone died? Hildy was an Ascian the whole time, and they were in the Matrix, but it was also Inception.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah. I am ready.
Very curious to see what you're going to think.
Creative Business Unit 3. Not the most creative name. See, we're on like that moon. Yes. Well, this is just this regular thing that's always there. Right? There's so many cutscenes that are on a weird moon thing.
It's a weird moon thing.
The final days were upon us. The fabric of the star had begun to fray. Its lands rent.
Oh, there's the final days. Has to be like a Thancred thing. Nope. Damn. Okay, Albino.
I can look after myself, you know. And I've had enough of this rabble. Come on.
Oi.
As the chaos spread, the star seemed doomed to unravel, and yet. There were those who stood in defense of that fate.
He's so awesome. Ponytail.
He just never needs to wear his helmet anymore.
He's so awesome. I love him. Wiener Kid.
Starring. And the Wiener Vader. Nope. Jeez, that seems bad news.
Stage is set, but will our hero deign to play their part?
Wait, who was in the chair?
Took your time. 'Tis as we feared. The respite afforded this land was but fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
Oh. I can like hear you smiling over there.
I'm so excited.
I have not been here. Oh, that's pretty.
So cool. Like my favorite place. There's your boy.
I knew it. This star still has secrets to tell. Take care, my friend.
You know there's an Aquabat whose name is Catboy?
Oh, seriously?
That's 30 years old now.
So, Charlian would keep its counsel while the world is lost to ruin.
It would. Come what may, we shall live on.
Oh boy.
We must.
What do you think of that guy?
Do as you must then, that we scions
The old white man stuck in his
until the
ways,
heavens fall,
looking out for
until our
himself.
last breath.
We'll see.
Oh, he annoys the shit.
He's just bored.
Ooh, eyeliner on point though, Xenos.
Oh, we got a new weapon.
Yes!
Past the far edge of
Ooh, look at your lashes.
See, I don't know what's up. I know there's the history of the moon, but I don't know what's up with the moon.
green blades, dark as light. Tolling the coming of the end.
I love this part right here. Look at that. That was awesome.
Who is that guy? Can't wait to meet that character.
Oh, get hyped. Dude, that was so good. Jeez. I want to replay the whole thing. That was so good. Dang.
Yeah, that was
Definitely
good.
my
I'm glad we
favorite
watched
one.
that right now. That's your so Endwalker's still your favorite one.
Endwalker's still my
Do you remember what
favorite,
happened?
No, I don't remember what happens. I mean, after watching that, hold on, let me read this. I mean, after watching that trailer, I remember a lot. But oh man, that was so good. Okay, so tell me, what do you think?
Oh, believe it or not, I think there's gonna be some battles.
It looks a little.
I think there's gonna be a new map. I think there's gonna be some new characters and conflicts.
Where did my chat window go? The chat disappeared. Oh, there it is.
It's very tiny
It's
for some
tiny
reason
right
now.
now. Okay,
Microscopic.
Let me oh, and it rewinded all the way to the beginning. Okay, let's see. Pay attention to the narrator.
Wait, who was the narrator?
I think it was multiple voices.
Might have to rewatch that then.
That one move made me level Dragoon
I'm at 49.
with your Dragoon.
Yeah.
New City Who Dis. Xenos' glow up was insane. Who needs armor when you're that sexy? It's the truth. So, Tom, want to level Paladin?
I didn't think so, but
This trailer made me Paladin for life. Reaper and Sage were the new jobs revealed in this trailer that unlocked with Endwalker.
Which ones are those?
Sage is Alphino, right? Like
It's not Paladin?
no, Paladin is the one with the shield.
Wait. The one where he was like pushing in like a shield and a sword?
People will tell us.
Yeah.
The Warrior of Light needs to be Black Alfel, in my opinion. Well, in your opinion, he probably needs like blue hair.
Everybody's worried. I would love to see this trailer with Alalafel in that role, though.
I would love to see the trailer with Oliver Benley. You know, that'd be so awesome. But
so if I'm not mistaken, whenever I see the trailers, I always have the thought of like, what if the whole game was like this? But then I remember, I think that's what they tried to do originally.
Yeah, in a Realm Reborn, and then it just broke.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
it can't. Yeah.
The music hyped all over again. That was like so good.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
great.
Good trailer. The music gets me hyped every time. Going from Dark Knight's Paladin, I swear I've seen it before. How many new maps exactly? Shadowbringers is my fave, but Endwalker is such a close second that for a while I couldn't decide which my fave was. I love Endwalker. Yeah, for me, it's like not even By the way, the narration during that trailer was Emmett's narration during the Emerald Dungeon at the end of 5.0. Yeah, we need to connect these dots. Bold prediction: 6 new zones, 2 new cities, 6 dungeons, and 3 trials.
Do I have to collect ether currents?
Not the narrator, but the expansion once you reach it. Sage was one of the flying lasers. Sage is a healer. The flying gun is Sage. Oh, the flying gun is Sage. Paladin has always been in the game. Sage is Alphino. Reaper is Xenos. Yeah, Reaper, the big, like,
giant weapon.
Yeah,
it was the thing where I thought it was Thancred because it was like
yeah.
I think it was the flying guns. I don't know, and then I was like Alphino.
Warrior of Light was Paladin, Sword and Shield. Yeah.
Okay, that's.
Paladin has been in the game since AR. The new jobs for Endwalker were Sage, represented by Alfie, and Reaper, represented by Xenos. Next expansion needs Tataru in the trailer.
Oh yeah, there's like the phone call from Tataru where she like you get the link shell thing. Yeah. She's like, "Is this thing? Oh, I can't get it to work."
Hello. Since Stormville, they've always showcased new jobs by either making an NPC use it or making the Warrior of Light use it in trailers.
Interesting. That's cool. I mean, that's the way to do it.
I have a character that's almost at Endwalker, but I can't keep leveling new characters. Aether currents for life.
I never thought I would want to level more than just the one thing, but
same.
Yeah. I mean,
just say it. I only had Dragoon the whole time until ShB. But everyone, you guys made it so fun and so like, I didn't need the other classes, right? But playing with you guys made me want to try it.
I want to know. So we should do a whole stream that's just your experience playing solo, entirely solo, basically, and then taking 2+ years off, and then playing with a huge community. I know you didn't go through, but
I mean, this is why we had so many just drunk Heather happy hours where I was like, Tom, this happened.
Well, now I get it. If you're doing all this stuff alone and some of these things happen, the only thing you can do is drink about it.
Oh, I can't even tell you. I just was like, I would just sit here and think about it. And finally I was like, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel just because like, I just need to talk. I need to talk to somebody. And I'm not the type of person, like for a little bit, I watched some like commentary, but just wasn't, I wanted to talk about my thoughts, not listen to other people's.
Right.
So yeah, anyway. All right, guys, we got to go take a break, feed the boys, and then I'll jump into our first official Operation Rising Tide event was on Saturday. It was a roleplay event with, I believe, Fevra and Tin. And then today we're doing casuals running Mount Farm Mondays. So if you'd like to join us, the Heather Just Play community, we have our Discord server. There's a link in the description. We just kicked off a whole initiative of basically member run events, right? So anything Final Fantasy 14, but also really anything that you're kind of like passionate about, right? Whether it's like anime or hobbies or books or whatever. Drawing has come up. We're open. That's gonna be what we're gonna be focusing on in the next 6 weeks. So I'm really excited about it. I think this is why I have such bad memory. Because all like 90% of my processing power is like figuring all this stuff out, and I just forget everything else. Let's see.
This was interesting. Casual said they cut out half of the ether currents when an expansion is no longer current. Look forward to Dawn Trail.
Oh, interesting.
Endwalker is already out when you started, right?
It was out, yeah.
So okay,
yeah. So I think I started playing like I don't think there was a 6.1 yet.
Yeah.
When I stopped, it was after 6.2.
I remember you trying to explain patches and expansions to me, and I was like trying so hard to understand it.
4.3, you know. Let's see. I only have Bard leveled. My second highest is Viper at 80, only because it unlocks at 80.
Yeah, my Viper is 81.
It actually, like, I will say, it's actually been fun to try. I mean, even you like switching it up.
I do. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that different.
My Black Mage is 93, but my Bard is like 78. It's getting there. I want to be able to do like the current stuff with Bard because you can move. And I really like Bard a lot.
I feel like that you connect with that one a lot.
Because because you can move, but it's still ranged, and you still have like the fun of like, the songs or whatever. it like combines a lot of things I really like from Black Mage, but you can move.
Yeah. So much fun playing with a lot of people. Yes. We'd love to hear what your experience is like playing 14 with the community you've built. It must be so different.
Yeah. And do you remember what got you into playing 14 in the first place? Like why you actually installed it? And it's very relevant to something we've already talked about today and the past couple weeks.
I don't know what you're talking about, but like the answer is yes. But I feel like you're talking about something specific.
This was spring of 22. You were like kind of in a funk with not the gaming channel because it didn't exist yet. With your other channel, like I don't know, like I'm tutorials, and I don't know if this. You're kind of in a funk, and you were like, maybe if I revamped my workspace, I think I would like get into it a little bit. And the way that one of the biggest ways we revamped your workspace was we got you a new monitor.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I forgot.
Yeah, you got this monitor, which is a gaming monitor, and you were like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. I feel like I want to use it for like more than just work stuff. I want to play a game on it. This is pre-PS5, pre-anything, like us having it, not it being out. And so you were playing on your Mac Mini, you installed Final Fantasy, and you're like, I'll just give this a try because it's been on my list.
And it's free.
So it's because you got a monitor, you want something to play on.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, well, free 99 ended into PS5, then Xbox, then other monitor, then
I mean, thing. You can argue thousands of dollars at this point to revamp the whole.
We
space.
each have 2 subscriptions.
Jima, let's get you in the Discord. Hammer and Sickled, can you put the link?
It should be in the description, right? Is it not?
It should be in the description, but Hammer and Sickled's gonna add it to the chat. Or Bon, if you're still here. Let's see. Suddenly, only like 5 or 6 exploration currents was so nice.
Yes.
You can also play instruments. Oh yeah, yes, exactly. Hammered Sickle is going to be doing one of the Job 101 classes soon for anyone who wants to branch out and learn. This is a perfect opportunity. So, as I said, we're doing this new initiative where it's member-driven events, and one of the ideas is to do Black Mage 101, Ninja 101, Paladin 101. To if you've never tried a different class, I feel like having the hand holding and the instruction of like what to expect. Here's your basic rotation, and then just a place where you can actually ask questions. Obviously, we have the power of Discord, so we can screen share and stuff like that. And we are lucky to have some incredibly knowledgeable people who know every class, or have specialized in a lot.
I think I told you because
so.
I've been trying to learn a couple new things, and every once in a while I find a good YouTube video, but it's hard to find. Once you find somebody who's a good one, it's hard to find them. Do you do every class, every job? And so many of them are like blank for beginners, and clearly this person does not know what beginners mean.
Right, I know.
It means you clearly mean beginner in that job and not beginner.
Well, it's like beginner to like, you're
like, oh, you have several level 100 characters, but now you're unlocking this one. You want to know the basics. It's like, okay, whatever, Gunbreaker for beginners. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to not like overcap this and then bust out this on the diploid replinator, and then you need to make sure that you're in cabinet. Like, I'm like, okay, what do I put on my hotbar?
I know.
Like,
right. So that's the thing. I think like knowing that we have a total noob here, right? Like you're kind of setting the tone for these live classes that we'll be able to run for Final Fantasy 14 jobs. I think this is such an awesome opportunity. Like, when do you get this, right? Like,
I need the explain like I'm 5 version.
Yes, and then Tom will be there. He'll be asking questions. I'll be asking questions. I think these are going to be so great. So if you'd like to join us, if you'd like to run them, we're open. There's obviously a bunch of classes. That the whole thing is member driven. So there's a link, Bon, posted right here. This is the link to our Discord server. We'd love to have you. Events are open to anyone who's in the HJP community. So all you have to do is join that Discord. You don't have to be in our free company, but if you like a free company, we're over on Dynamis Kraken. It's called Kraken's Call. Let's see. Casual. I was going to ask Tom, how does it feel being allowed to dodge anything ever?
It's so nice. Although with Black Mage, the thing that's really satisfying, which I've told you, is taking advantage of Swift casts where you can do 3 instant casts because you can do.
Tom feel like he like figured something out.
Well, it's really nice because when you do need to move, you can hit that, and then you can do. Forget I know where they are in my hotbar, but I forget the things that they
5,
are.
6, and 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it can do like. Yeah, you can do like basically you can do one of either the single or the AoE attack that takes all your MP.
Yeah.
So you hit Swift Cast, you do that, boom, super powerful attack with all your MP, and then it takes 2 of like the ice ones to recharge it, so you can do your most powerful ones, either single or AoE there. In the middle of that, you will also get a Thunder Dot to charge, so you can essentially do 4 instant casts while moving with 1 Swift Cast thing, and when you're done, you have full MP again. And it's like really satisfying to be able to do that, to run around and like, but you only get 2 instances.
Are you nerding out right now? Who are you even?
You only get 2 instances of Swift Cast before the cooldown, so you have to use them a little bit sparingly because then you get stuck with like, now I can't do anything.
I don't know what you're talking about, but the answer is yes. Just giving away the secrets to successful marriage. I love that you guys know this, like word for the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV has a free trial, including the entirety of a Realm Award and the award-winning expansions Heaven's Ward and Stormblood.
Who knew?
Who knew? I always have my Diploid Resonator on cooldown, says Atomic.
It's good that they fixed the Dingalarm Replinator.
I literally struggled with this so hard. I kept looking up guides and having no idea what any of the terms meant. I think, like, if you know, I just think it would be fun to, I don't know, I'm really looking forward to the Jobs 101. I can keep talking about it, but I don't want everyone to be late for our 5 p.m. In 15 minutes, we have, so our event tonight, Casual's running it. We're doing mount farming. So, actually, Casual, if you want to give a quick description of what it is, in case anyone here is going to sign up for the Discord and jump in right away. So if you want to join us in 15 minutes, we're going to be farming for mounts, basically. So you can get some really cool mounts if you haven't had a chance to get them yet. Jima, I don't know how to do the description thing, but I'm sure my son or grandson knows I live with them, so I see that. Okay. Elliot, explain like I'm Tom. Jima, I think we are going to get you in here.
Cameron Sickle said, Gunbreaker is all about not overcapping things.
M-Day!
The guy never explained what overcapping is.
Wait, M-Day, are you still here?
Oh, hey, you won.
You won, M-Day. Hold on. Boom.
You were not even kidding, yeah.
Yeah, you won a Figmental Weapon Coffer for contributing to our free company.
That's not a figment of your imagination.
Our free company donations thing. Like, we did the Wheel of Names at the very top of the stream, and you are the one who won. So, hit us up in Discord if someone hasn't reached out to you already, and we'll get that over to you.
Yay.
Let's see. I can start a workshop on how to make gil by ripping people off. I just read that. I literally learned my job by staring at my tooltips for ages until I understood them and tried to logic it out. I feel like that's what we all try to do. I used to call global cooldown off, global cooldown on, clock off, clock. Let's see. Let's see. Tom grew up so fast. Tom nerding out now. I know. Look at you. Yeah, you're going to be teaching Job 101s. You know?
Yeah.
Soon he'll be talking about quadruple transpose lines. I have no idea what that is.
You're still only on the quadruple.
It's like uses AoEs. What's an AoEs? Use dots. What's a dot?
Yeah, exactly. You can't. Yeah. Anyway.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here's the event. We're going to be focusing on content you might not be able to do solo, but that's easy unsynced with a party. Get your extreme trial and savage mounts from past expansions.
Nice.
That's what's happening in 15 minutes. So, if you want to participate, you actually don't have to join our Discord server like right this moment. You can just meet at the Free Company House, our Free Company House, which is on Dynamis, Kraken, Mist, Ward 17, Plot 60. You can meet us there, and we'll get you in a party. Okay, let's see. The worst thing about learning a new job is that the expansions jobs auto-populate your hardboard in that order. You get them by levels, which is nonsense. Yeah.
It's very tricky. I always have to read every. I get happy when I get a new thing, and then I'm like, oh crap, and I gotta.
I hate it. It's like a dread because it's like I finally figured this out.
Yeah.
Now you changed it.
Yeah. But the whole thing with the like unsynced party to get trial and savage mounts. Everyone helped me do that when we did all the horses a while ago, and it was like super cool. I didn't know what we were doing. I didn't understand it, but I ended up with a whole stable full of horses at the end.
And then you got the like
the nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing soon. Tom and I will try to be there, but we gotta eat dinner and feed the boys. So I'm definitely gonna be late, and I'll catch up wherever you guys are. But with that said, thank you so much for joining us for this Shadowbringers discussion. I don't know if we're gonna do. I feel like it might be redundant to do one after 5.5.
I don't know what happens in 5.5, so we'll have to see.
I feel like we should just do one like.
I'll see how I feel. If I'm like, oh my god, there's one thing I want to go off on for 45 minutes, then we can do that.
Yeah, so we'll keep you updated. If you want to know when we're going live, join our Discord server. Thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Thanks everybody for helping me even have a journey.
All right, guys, take it easy. We'll catch you soon.
Bye,
Bye everybody. Finley's happy.